Please like this video and subscribe to the channel. So is everyone aware of all the drama that's taking place these days with Texas's opposition to the Biden administration's lax approach to illegal immigration, which has our country overflooded at this point with illegal immigrants? Texas has taken a stance against it, and now it's literally dividing the country because about 27 other states have joined together with Texas to say, no, we don't want to stand for this anymore. Let's take a look at what's really been going on. So as you can see here, in response to the Biden administration's policies that are just allowing millions of illegal immigrants to surge across our country's borders, Texas Governor Greg Abbott launched Operation Lone Star, which granted him authority to deploy the Texas National Guard to the border. So the really interesting fact is that initially, Operation Lone Star was not being done in opposition to the federal government. The intended purpose of the operation was to aid Border Patrol in stemming the tide of illegal immigration. So Texas sent manpower to the southern border and built physical barriers to prevent some of the millions of immigrants that have been surging across our border illegally. Some of the barriers are made with wire. And in fact, Border Patrol helped place some of the wire. And it was found that once those physical barriers were in place, including the wires, illegal border crossings dropped by more than 2/3. But then, in a city called Eagle Pass, Texas, Border Patrol began repeatedly cutting holes in the wire to let the illegal immigrants into our country. In 1 month alone, they cut that wire more than 20 times. And in at least one instance, Border Patrol used a forklift to lift the wire to let in more than 300 illegal immigrants crossing the Rio Grande in Texas. So Texas filed suit. Texas is saying that the Biden administration dropped its or failed to comply with its obligation to protect the country's borders, and so it did so. And the district court found, like Texas said, that the federal government was ignoring its duty to protect the border. In addition, the district court specifically made a finding that Border Patrol could access both sides of that wire without compromising the barrier the wire created, and so it ordered the federal government not to cut, not to crush, or forklift Texas's wire. Well, the Biden administration appealed to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court did not overturn any of the factual findings that were made by the district court. But without giving any explanation at all, it issued an order that passed 5 justices in favor, 4 opposed, pausing the injunction that the district court had issued prohibiting the federal government from destroying those wires. Now, the interesting thing about the order issued by the Supreme Court is that federal agents are no longer prohibited from destroying Texas's wires, but at the same time, there's been no ruling or anything prohibiting Texas from continuing to repair or replace that wire. So we're at a standstill. So after the Supreme Court issued its order, former President Trump called for all Republican-led states to band together to combat illegal immigration, which he called an invasion of migrants coming into the U.S., to deploy their guards to Texas, to the borders, to prevent the entry of illegals and to remove them back across the border. And after he made that call, 1/2 of our states, 25, pledged their support for Texas. And since then, a couple more states have joined in. So right now there are 27 states. We've got Virginia, Iowa, Utah, Alabama, Alaska, Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Idaho, Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, New Hampshire, North Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, West Virginia, Wyoming, and the Arkansas State Legislature, all joining together with Texas to protect our country's borders and stem the tide of illegal immigration that is just overwhelming our country. And as you can see above, here's a map showing in red all of the states that have pledged their support to assist Texas in defending our country's southern borders, and it shows the state of Texas in blue, even though Abbott is a Republican and Texas is a red state as well. So as you can see, the country is being split apart on this issue.